Good morning, my lovers. I am at the show and tell day today, so I'll do a show and tell, and then at the end I'll finish the video because it's been pretty epic. I've showed them all my epic finds. Right, here's the first thing, a lovely little horse harness pendant.
It is fantastic. That's beautiful, and it's lovely. You've even got the silver retained.
Right.
You've even got the silver retained on the actual frame itself. That is beautiful.
It started, as soon as I got out of the ground, it started to crumble like stuff. So I submerged it in candle wax.
Right, okay.
And that's just stopped it from crumbling.
Yeah. With these sort of things, they can go into shock literally when they come out of the ground. Yeah. And so as soon as it exposes the oxygen, it starts drying out, and they can deteriorate really rapidly. So yeah, it's a beautiful little thing. But yeah, medieval horse harness, probably about 14th century. So, yeah, this is beautiful. So yeah, you've got this lovely arrowhead. It's nice triangular form. I can't see any barbs either side.
No, that's what I thought. When you said it was a barbed one, I thought, really? I was looking at it and I'm not sure.
But you got the tang there, so that's quite nice. And they did have like tanged but non-barbed arrowheads. But yeah, it dates to late Neolithic, very early Bronze Age, so 2,800 BC to 1,500 BC. But beautiful. And one thing I love about these is you've got the tip missing. You can always come up with these stories that you've got some sort of Neolithic or Bronze Age hunter was going through the landscape, saw his prey and then fired the arrow, and then this arrow just hit something and then just the tip just broke off. So yeah, beautiful, really nice.
All these flints have been found in the same area, which is, don't usually find sort of flints, but they're all being found in the same place.
Well, that's interesting. Okay.
So unless there was like a prehistoric settlement.
Well, this particular piece.
Did they have settlements? I suppose they did do it in the Bronze Age, didn't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. This particular piece, it's debitage. So it's a waste flake from the manufacturing process. You can actually see where it's been struck. You've got nice bold percussion here, where they've hit it. Now, although it's just a waste flake, that doesn't detract from it. It's still evidence of human activity. It's still evidence of their manufacturing process. And if we are able to build up, record lots of these waste flakes, we can then start building a picture of the actual activity that's taking place on that site. So, although it's a waste flake, bit of debitage, it's still an important item. Date-wise, they're much more difficult to date because there's no diagnostic features on them like the arrowhead. But still, a very significant piece. It's prehistoric, so that's a lovely little piece.
So Paul Blinkhorn reckons this is Bronze Age.
Wow. Oh my God. Yeah.
But he did say he wants a second opinion.
Well, to be honest, Paul Blinkhorn, he's fantastic at pottery, so I would always refer to him.
It's quite heavy, isn't it? I thought it was, it felt heavy for the size.
Yeah, lots of inclusions in there, lots of really nice inclusions. I see.
It's got to be old, isn't it?
Oh, it's bronze. Yeah, I think.
So when you show your piece of pottery, this is the difference between. It's just the only way you can really tell is it's got a curve to it, so it can't be a stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also what you do find with pottery is it's warmer as well. A stone, they can be quite cold to the touch, whereas a piece of pottery is much warmer.
If you scratch a stone, it leaves little white marks, doesn't it? If you scratch it with your fingernail.
Yeah. You find this also. I always call this digestive wear because if you find this in the ground, it's because it's quite low. It's got quite low firing temperature because it's bonfire fired. So they literally make a lot of the pots, put them all in a heap, stack their wood over the top of it, set fire to it. So it's got a very low temperature when it's actually been fired. And so what you can find on an archaeological site, when you actually dig these out of the ground, because they're quite waterlogged, maybe, possibly, they're actually really soft. And often it is, imagine like getting a digestive biscuit, dunk it in a cup of tea and let it dry out. That's what this pottery can sometimes have the consistency of.
It's got a line on that side, the other side. There's a line going down there of some sort.
I think that's just part of the coiling process, because obviously
It's the inside, isn't
it? They're all handmade, all coil built. So
you think how did they clean the pots when it was that crusty? Did you just use it once?
No. No, it's a lovely pot. Yeah, it's a bronze age, absolutely. And see, if you've got it in the same site as you're finding that flint.
No, this was a different site.
Okay, but no, the fact
not half a mile away, mile away.
Yeah. So finding Bronze Age pottery is incredibly rare. So it's a very significant find. So really,
Does it mean that there could be a Bronze Age settlement there?
Maybe, possibly, could be. We don't know. We can't say for definite. But it does make you sort of wonder. So I can't say yes, there is, but it does make it certainly makes you sort of thinking that who knows, it could be.
Yeah. I have to get back there, do a bit more detecting.
Absolutely, and keep your eye open for flint, because like with the debitage, what you do find on sites like this, you might find an area, a zone where you've got lots of debitage being found, and that's where they're actually manufacturing the flints. You might find an area where they've got more sort of domestic.
I did find once just one little corner of the field. There was I was digging up loads of little bits of flint all in this one place, and of course around these parts there's no flint here. So
exactly. Yeah. So no, that's significant. So yeah, it could be.
I found these quite close to each other in the same field.
Really? Okay. Interesting. These are both buckles, obviously, with a loop at the bottom for sword belt hanger. So yeah, so nice little sword belt hangers. I think about 15th century, 15th, 16th century, about 15th century, I think. So yeah, nice.
Probably came off the same sword, I think.
Yeah, quite possibly, quite possibly.
Just the plies moved them around, I suppose.
Yeah, no, nice, very nice.
I found this at the last minute, so I just put it in my bag. It's got shields on it.
It has. That's. I think that might be part of the bell, part of the medieval. Yes. You've got the loop just there. That's part of the medieval bell. They're more decorative. I can't see how they would make a. It's a lead airlight. I can't see how it's making a very nice noise.
No, there's only one half, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So I can see various shields. You've got a chevron there. You've got a cross there with elements actually in each of the corners. These date to about the 14th century. There would be another hemisphere, another half to this, and you'd have the loop at the top, and I think they're possibly on a horse harness, but nice decorative bell. But dates to the 14th century with 4 shields running around the perimeter. So very nice. That's great.
Yeah. Well, save the best till last.
I know, it's just fantastic, isn't it? Oh, look at that.
If you look inside there, right in the middle.
Yeah, a little bump.
It looks like a sort of if it's been pressed on something and
I don't know how the bell worked. Yes, it's just a little stone inside.
That's nice. And you've got a nice little rectangular slot there. Obviously, it's broken here. A nice little rectangular slot there. It looks like it would have been a dagger or knife pommel. The actual, judging by the actual style of the face, probably about 13th century, 13th, 14th century. But yeah, fantastic little piece. Really, really, really nice. Just a beautiful medieval dagger pommel. Very nice.
Right, that's it, I'm afraid.
That's brilliant. Well, now you've got some cracking finds. Your bell, the dagger pommel, and also your flint as well. So, and pottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like those guys that came in before. They just emptied all their scrap on the table. I tend to be a bit more selective in what I show cook.
Yeah. And especially with those two guys, they didn't know what they were looking at really, and so the fact they showed me everything was great, because I picked up that Bronze Age chisel and a few of those other medieval artefacts.
Now,
so
if I find something, I think that looks. You can usually tell by the metal, can't you? It's like this that's got a lovely patina. Now old metals have a patina. The more modern stuff tends to have a copper layer that sort of comes off, and then you've got a sort of a rough subsurface of metal. So it's not as... It's all to do with the sort of shine, the patina of the object.
And it's the
So you can
production
tell
methods.
that when stuff is more... But then
And
that bell thing didn't look that
kind of
old.
mass production as well. Well, relative mass production.
Right, I hope you enjoyed that, my lovers. I'm going to head off home. It's peeing with rain. I haven't been out with a big horde hunter for days, you know. It's been terrible. Cheers.